Hey guys, what is up? Lucifer here, bringing you another deck profile with replays. Today we have a very interesting request, actually. It's off of our dual amino. If you haven't followed us there, be sure to look me up at Black Flame Lucifer. But yeah, the guy requested Infernities, and frankly, I love this deck. I love the way it plays. I used to love the way it plays in general, the playstyle. I mean, I always loved the art, to be honest, and you know how big of a contender that is. But yeah, even after all the hits, I never really could stop playing them. They were just really fun. I loved them. And yeah, this is the deck list. Took me about a day and a half to complete. Now, don't get me wrong, it does have its flaws. I may be missing out on a little bit of combo potential, but this is the most consistent build that I found in my day and a half of building it. It's really, I have to say, balanced, and every single one of the monsters that you see in the extra deck you can go into. I made sure of that. I did not get them in all the replays, sadly. That is mainly because I tried to get as much Infernity action as possible. I knew that the request was specifically for Infernities, but this was the best build that I could find, and surprisingly it had a lot of draw power, but you're going to see why in the replays. Like, a lot of times you can really draw into the key cards you need. Uh, but yeah, even if you don't get your Infernity power cards and power plays, whatever, you still have the Performate Pal engine, and of course, it's still strong enough. Plus, with the metal foes, you have some good recycling going on with fusion. I used to run one of the metal foes fusion, the level 5 normal monster, but I took him out. It's just that the extra deck is fairly tight. If I had to take out any one card in the extra deck, it would have to be Nirvana High Paladin. But you know, he's pretty good. He's there, and there's a lot of times where you would end your turn with an Infernity Beetle on the field. But yeah, as usual, I'm gonna show you the replays in a few seconds, and after that, of course, we get to the ratings. So without further ado, here we go. So guys, we're at that point again in the video where I will rate this deck based off of 4 categories: versatility, difficulty, recovery, and consistency, in that order. So, for versatility, I've decided to give this deck a 9 out of 10. So this is a really high rating, I know, but you know, it just goes to show why Infernities got limited. And of course, they're nowhere near as strong as they used to be in this build. But, you know, it really just, it's kind of crazy what they can go into sometimes. And, like, as you can see with the video, with the pendulums that allow you to summon Infernity Archfiend from the hand, and just the repetition of being able to summon him from the grave. Even if you don't get as big boards as back then or whatever, it's still fun to play, and generally you can go into a lot of stuff. I got over that Beals and Blackwing in one of my replays, and frankly, in general, it's just a really good combo teacher. So, for versatility, I've decided to give it a 9 out of 10, and there's not much more to say about that. On to difficulty, I've decided to give the deck a 6.5 out of 10. The reason behind this is because it's one of the more or less harder decks to play. It's harder to see some of the combos that you got. You really do have to think ahead. But at the same time, it also plays itself in a way that's really nice with the flow, the way that you can see all these openings to get back your Archfiend, which is, of course, the main idea of the deck, to be able to recycle and create these crazy boards, and, of course, sometimes even OTK. But regardless, I've given it a 6.5 because it's not the hardest deck out there, not even close, but it's not easy by any means either. So for recovery, I've decided to give the deck a 5.5 out of 10. The reason behind this is because of the recent ban list. Yes, in every single ban list to date, Konami has found some way to hit Infernities. Of course, I'm not completely serious on that, but yes, we're using the Performapal engine, and with Monkey gone, and you know, he was that really great one-card scale that we needed, to be honest, it's hard to get a lot of stuff back. You're gonna need to wait on something to get back Archfiend, you need to make sure your hand doesn't clog, etc. Like, this deck is really go big or go home, and there's not too many ways to recover it, in all honesty. I'm sure that there could be some ways, but yeah, the Performapal engine is good. It's never been bad. But like I said, you just kind of need that extra oomph sometimes. Not much else to say. For recovery, it's getting a 5.5 out of 10 in my book. So, finally, for consistency, I have given this deck a 7 out of 10. The reason behind this is because I've opened Dead enough times, or at least Dead to make videos. I wouldn't open with Infernities all the time. The Performapal engine, of course, helps. I've had times where it really pulls me through, but it's not really performing the way that it can be, and that's, of course, largely in part due to the heavy limits on Infernities in general. Barrier at 1, Launcher at 1, Archfiend at 1 is the worst, but generally, yeah, that really kind of, you know, kills it for the deck. On the other hand, it could be made a lot better. For example, maybe a Brilliant engine could work inside of this, but I really think that the best thing working for it right now would be either a Magician Pendulum engine or this Performapal engine, mainly just because, you know, the extra special summoning, the great extra deck access. When this thing goes off, it's crazy. There's not too many ways to stop it, but it's the fact that, you know, early on you need to have something pretty good, nothing laughable. Otherwise, you could be put into a hard spot. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this deck. Thanks for tuning in, you guys, and don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, whatever you want to do, all that cool stuff. And I will see you guys next time.